So whenever I'm making content, I like to scroll through Facebook men's groups pages because typically that's where I'll find a lot of the reels that I stitch and post on YouTube. Some of them, of course, are always leaning more towards trying to keep women accountable, and some of them also include keeping men accountable. This video specifically is strictly for keeping men accountable because, fellas, there's definitely some things that we need to talk about, and it's an alarming trend that I see very often in a lot of these third spaces. And that is the small but ever-growing minority of men who just outright hate women. And this is what I wanted to talk about. And before I even go into it, guys, I don't want you to think that I'm pandering, because I'm simply not. This channel, the main mission of this channel is to be able to create a dialogue that would encourage both men and women to come sit at the virtual table and have an open discussion about how both genders can get together and continue to create cohesive families. One thing that I'm definitely not about is just straight up bashing women. I like women. I like women, and even though sometimes I do understand that their nature could be somewhat either spiteful or at the very least come off a little immature, I also understand that this is a part of human nature, and both men and women are susceptible to these emotions as well. My goal is to elevate the conversation. And one thing I definitely think matters in regards to elevating this conversation is being able to have the bigger conversations, the tougher conversations, and more importantly, also be willing to keep my fellow men accountable. Guys, hating women will not help you get women. Listen, I understand that a lot of us have gone through some perhaps very traumatizing experiences with women. I myself am included in that. I've had my fair share of run-ins with the wrong kinds of women. But let's not sit here and act like there's no possibility for us to have pleasant experiences with the opposite sex as well. Because it is possible. I'm not gonna sit here and try and convince you to continue dating in the West. Listen, if you're a passport bro, then feel free to fly to another country to find a woman. However, like I said before, there's a small minority of men, and it seems like it's growing larger and larger every day, that simply hate women. They detest women, then they absolutely loathe them. This is not my mission. If you are one of the men that absolutely hate women and are an incel, I'm not the channel for you. I don't support bashing women, at least unnecessarily. Now, I guess we should deliberate and expand on what bashing would mean, but if you've taken a look at my shorts and some of my other videos that I've made on this channel, you'll notice that I find women that are blatantly in the wrong, doing things that are not right in relationships, and yet they still try to act like it's okay, when obviously both parties that are of logical thinking could come to an agreement and understand that yes, the way some women and some men act, but particularly in this case, women, the way some women act is not okay. Now, with all that being said, the guys who just outrightly hate women, regardless if they're good, bad, or indifferent, you're in the wrong. And the reason why you're in the wrong is simply because at the end of the day, regardless if you do not want to date or if you do not want to speak to women, you still have to interact with the opposite sex whenever you're going out. Perhaps, let's say you're going shopping, or if you're servicing your car, whatever the case may be, you're going to run into a woman. That's just the facts of life. And since I'm on the topic, misandrist, you're also going to run into men. I don't know if you guys have seen any one of my other videos, but I did make a video called Women Are Decentering Men in 2024, which in my opinion is a little ridiculous, because how do you honestly expect to avoid all men in this country, let alone on the globe? It'll be pretty hard for you to do, but the same could be said for men as well. Listen, if you think you're going to watch the world as it burns and be okay in your small little survival hut or wherever you decide that you'll bug out to in case shit goes south, I want to let you know right now that both parties will feel the brunt of this coming collapse, right? If there is a collapse, God forbid that there isn't, but all data and statistics point that there is a potential collapse. But that's not the point of this video, nor do I plan on making this video very, very long. I just want to say hating women will not make your life better. In fact, living every day with that resentment and disdain towards women will in fact have damning repercussions on your life. Now, what I'm not saying is to go out here and catch a stray for somebody, go out here and be a hero, go out here and risk your life for someone you don't know. Unless it's like a female family member or just, family in general, then obviously do what you feel is best in that time. But what I am saying is, again, if we as a society expect to have any sort of change and change for the better, then both genders need to know and need to learn, or relearn rather, how to get along. And I get it. I know there will always be women out there that are shallow, that are vapid, that see you for something less than, although that they themselves may not have all the qualities that they're looking for in someone else. I understand that. But don't allow that to short-sighten how you feel about women, and in addition to that, don't allow that to change how you treat women in your everyday life. Again, I'm not saying go catch a stray, I'm not saying go be someone's hero, but I'm just saying, if we all were to treat each other with respect, how much further could we get as a society? Hopefully you got the message of what I'm trying to say in this video. Let me know your thoughts below. How do you treat women in your everyday life? Again, I'm not saying you have to be a super gentleman for everybody, not saying you have to hold every fucking door open for every single woman, but I'd like to hear how you treat women now that you're single and you don't plan on getting into a relationship again. Ladies, feel free to chime in too if you'd like. Other than that, thanks so much for watching. Thank you so much for your engagement. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.